fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scandal, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. Hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and a resort to crime. You can't fool me again.
What people do in no money, what they at you, in no at you. Covid money, miss away in the yellow rat you. Use the youth, them on the base, for most of the statue. Say me like a cash, but they got in a figure too. Take the script of money, God and say that is not you. On the head, the man above him, up him, I got up. Too much it in the kitchen, some fly by like a patu. The singers and DJs and social media's coming at you.
It burn me.
300% free.
It burn me.
Garbage pile of the day.
It burn me.
Give the teacher them raise.
It burn me.
I see corruption face.
It burn me.
Mash down the people them house.
It burn me.
Every day appear arms out.
It burn me.
Appear money them a thief.
It burn me.
And them a sell out the beach.
Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scandal, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and a resort to crime. You can't fool me again.
Come me say big up all the charities and all of the givers. Some a go like say them powerful, me no make a bigger. The 100 the promises, none of them not deliver. Cut up the youth and rap and they down in our fever. Member bowl honey and they lie them tell. Corruption smell and they pocket them swell. When police don't a market like Satan out of hell, go mash up people start like thief when them sell.
It burn me.
Or they treat the market man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat the cat man.
It burn me.
Or they treat the peanut man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat the dirt man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat the sound man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat policeman.
It burn me.
Or them a treat soldier man.
It burn me.
Or them
Stibbidim day, stibbidim day, stibbidim day. We in Global TV says certain kind of friend we no cape. And some informer friend we love Lake. We in Global, bona fake friend and bona tape. We in Global, we not promote them, we not support them. Look at them on the cheek, come here represent for. We in Global TV, check it.
Good morning. It is Monday. Welcome to Global Television. This is Global Television. How come somebody invite me for an interview and Global TV has not invited me for one? If you understand, you understand. If you don't, good morning and welcome. How everyone do? It was a bustling weekend. Lot was said, lot went on. Should producer Wayne stay quiet? No, this is not what Global TV is about. Hence the name, Global TV. So we can speak about anything in the global spheres that is bustling in the social media space, particularly when it comes to issues and matters of politics. Fair leader, long tongue leader, walkie talkie, catchy telly. Fearless leader, walkie talkie, catchy telly. Long tongue leader, crooked leader, shut your blasted mouth, you lead. Good morning, fearless leader. Fearless leader. Hey, good morning. Fearless leader. Good morning. To my community party and all my family members, platform moderators, membership holders, viewers, subscribers, commenters, and trolls. Good morning, Debbie Jarvis, Natalie Freeman, Valerie Beaton Teach. Good morning and welcome, Sunshine. Good morning, Charlotte Reed, the Untainted One, the Unstoppable One, sorry. Georgia Dennis, Cousin Myrna, Wagwan, Jay looking at parity yet? I'm working from an old slide. My new slide, we put in a studio in a Google Drive from how long this morning, and it's still not arrived yet, but I'll get it until it arrives. Elaine Turner. Good morning, Sharon Bernard. Good morning. Good afternoon, Gloria Morris. Jason Kane. I am Roger Forbes. Wagwan, bro. Good morning and welcome. Brenda, how are you? Good morning. Fearless leader, long tall leader, walkie talkie, kitty daily. Fearless leader, Clean Allen. Good. Marcia Thomas. It was a bloody weekend across the country, was it not? Elijah B., Douglas Allen, Millicent Jones, Pamela Akola, Agency Driver 5, Wagwan, Veteran, Long tongue leader, walkie talkie, catchy daily. Good morning. It is basking in a glorious weather in London today, about 30 to 32 degrees outside. So no, so when me done, me at that park go voila, like up on beach with the Jem Ashley. Good morning. Good morning, everyone, and welcome. Rattigan, why you come tell so much lie? You see this whole leadership issue. Let's talk about fearless leader. You see who is on my screen. Fearless leader, fearless leader, fearless leader. During the American invasion of Cuba, Fidel Castro was the first who led rather from the front line. Fidel Castro, in the invasion of Cuba by the Americans, Fidel Castro led from the front line. Michelle Lewis Wilson, fearless leader. I think it's 2023. During the 2023 shock and awe invasion of Iraq by Tony Blair and George Bush, Hussein fired the first bullet on the battlefield. Fearless leader. Che Guevara, fearless leader. Samora Machel, fearless leader. Kwame Nkrumah, fearless leader. Fearless leader, long tongue leader, walkie talkie, catchy. How Rattigan get Jeffrey come here because I'm not afraid to call my name, but me not afraid down here. It's better down, no? Me call all on approach the bench. Jeffrey. Jeffrey Tavares approach the bench. Walkie talkie, catchy telly. Let me see, somebody's updated on the invasion of Iraq as to the 2000 to 2000, yeah. Okay. Walkie talkie, catch it, tell it. Jeffrey chanted. Jeffrey advertised. No problem, Jeff. You heard the conversations over the weekend as to why the fearless leader left the group he was in. Ebenezer Cody, how are you? You heard over the weekend that the fearless leader have a difference of opinion with another group member. A friend of 52 years, Carlos Gray, told us. But Herb Nelson went on to told us the friend is called Lion. Lion is a member of the group as well. Mr. Rattigan had a disagreement with Lion, a friend of 52 years. Now, what a fearless leader would have done, Mr. Rattigan? That scenario. A fearless leader come across a difference of opinion within an organization they're leading, fearless leader. Your job is to work out a compromise to keep peace and unity within the group. Getting up, Mr. Rattigan, and running from the group because of a difference of opinion and because you did not get an apology, how does this, Mr. Rattigan, define fearless leadership? I tell you, so you never have to come out here, come lie or spin. But you really bamboozled your audience on Saturday evening. You answered to nothing. You explained nothing. You think you do not have, if you're counting yourself as a leader, and you think you don't have responsibility to be accountable and to be transparent to the people, Mr. Rattigan, who you're collecting their donation for a particular registered organization. If you think you're not answerable, you're playing a dangerous game in this sphere, Rattigan. Given that, the mantra of holding this government to account is accountability and transparency. Jeffrey Tavares approached the bench. Disclosure, Mr. Tavares. Hey. On the issue, Mr. Tavares, of disclosure, do you think you would pass the disclosure test, Mr. Tavares? And if you fail to pass the disclosure test, would that not be lack of transparency and accountability? Something you sit down here, out here every day and chant against this government? Or is this thing about corruption, transparency, accountability, is it all a game to pull people in? Can you, Jeffrey Tavares, pass the accountability test? Can you pass the disclosure test, Mr. Tavares? Did you, Jeffrey Tavares, or have you, Jeffrey Tavares, been funded by anyone, Mr. Tavares? These are questions, not accusation, Mr. Tavares. But for the purpose of accountability, one should seek to set the record straight. Did you, Mr. Tavares, at any time collected money from anyone or is been sponsored by anyone to travel to New York demonstration, Washington demonstration, and have you declared it to Mr. Rattigan? And at what time did you declare it to Mr. Rattigan? Was that money declared? Let's move on. Did you, Mr. Tavares, or were you, Mr. Tavares, given money or sponsorship, Mr. Tavares, to travel to Canada for the protest? How much was it? Was it declared, Mr. Tavares? And have you traveled to Canada, Mr. Tavares? And if you have not traveled to Canada, Mr. Tavares, Was that money pocketed by you, or was that money submitted to legal defense? Just ask it. Have you, Ms. Varus, ever claimed expenses from the One Jamaica Legal Defense for traveling to New York or Washington? Just asking. Accountability must have a balanced scale. It mustn't be tilt. So when you come out here and on lies, not tell lie, it's only going to cause more question. It's only going to more question when you come out here and lie. And Jeffrey, you must answer those questions for your credibility, for the credibility of the fearless leader. Mr. Rattigan and Tavares must answer those questions. Was Jeffrey funded to go to Canada? Was Jeffrey Tavares funded to go to Canada? And if he was, what happened to the money? Was it for personal use? You can't come beat the government for accountability. Then you walk and collect people money and then act as if you don't have the responsibility to give the account for their money. You still going around walking and telling all sort of lies. Mr. Rattigan, it doesn't work like that. Now, how can you have a leader that cannot work out a compromise to keep the unity in the group, but for the whole weekend on our chant fearless leader? So what happens then when Mr. Rattigan doesn't his way again in another group? What, your fearless leader is going to jump ship and go and start something? That means there is no consistency there. Mr. Rattigan is there as a bully and a dictator. And if Mr. Rattigan doesn't get his way, Mr. Rattigan is going to leave the organization and go form something else. But how when Mr. Rattigan comes up on a disagreement within his new formed organization, is he going to do what fearless leader does? By reaching a compromise and keep unity in the group, rather than jump ship and form something else? But why is it though, Mr. Rattigan, you're trying to pull down every other limb? Because the global diaspora want to take away from the government is like the umbrella. The call to action group is like the communication and planning and strategic arm of the thing. Then the One Jamaica Legal Defense is the funding arm of the whole thing. Why you start to mash up everything, Mr. Rattigan, but you hug up the One Jamaica Legal Defense? You refer. Is it a money game, Mr. Rattigan? One have to ask those questions. Is there a money game being played here? And if you're going to submit your tax details to the IRS in October, the same information that you could provide to the public now, why do they have to wait now? You would have documentation to submit for October. Can you not provide accountability from those documents you have now? Or is it the case, as Herb said, Mr. Rattigan, you don't want to document things properly? You are under a duty, Wilfred Rattigan, to explain to your audience, give accountability to your audience. You cannot be claiming fearless leader where your integrity is in doubt, Wilfred. It doesn't make sense. You cannot be a fearless leader, Mr. Rattigan, if you're not leading with the truth. Stop playing game with the people. When you come out on the religion, God, prayer, Bob Marley music, it was a whole merry-go-round. And by the time you get to the issue, you answered nothing. You explained nothing. You rather left your audience confused at the end of your program. You cannot have a leader whose integrity is in doubt, Mr. Rattigan. You must step aside from any leadership in the whole diaspora spheres, Mr. Rattigan. I'm a member of the diaspora. I'm entitled to speak. I gave a lot of my broadcasting time to those protests. I promoted those protests. So why am I not to speak now? You cannot continue to fool the people. And then you come out here, come criticize politicians, so they might do the same thing. It's not fair. It's just not fair. And Jeffrey Tavares must be honest. Are you running a racketeering game in this thing, Jeffrey Tavares? Rattigan is very thin-skinned. If an argument with a friend of 52 years, but because the people them where Rattigan them aspire to lead are people who do not think for themselves. They're only waiting for these educated degree men to come out and tell them a load of waffle. That doesn't mean anything. And this is why I'm sorry for some of you. This is why some of you will never understand me. Because on a cheer for the I'm doing. But when it comes to the truth, on a see it as you're throwing more flames on the fire. No. You see, when the real truth is discussed and people understand what the issues are, it wouldn't have gotten this far. If Mr. Rattigan was only honest, if Mr. Rattigan approached this thing as the fearless leader campaign that Jeffrey is leading, we get so far. It wouldn't get so far. If Rattigan pulled back him hyena, get so far. As a leader, Rattigan sat down in absolute silence, watched the thing going down the jail, and acclaimed him a leader. What leadership? At no time you sought to pull back what was happening. You act like you never hear. And what did you do after that? You came out and you defended Wayne Lonesome. You never tried to plead peace. You came out and you threw your colleagues under the bus. Just like you threw your friend of 52 years under the bus when you were leaving the organization, Mr. Rattigan. The fearless leader argument don't work. Don't even talk about Prezi. If Prezi come, Prezi been milking One Jamaica Legal Foundation. If Prezi pit, you have to reimburse Prezi. Why them hide them something they found offer? Why them come out and talk about other things and not talking about the real issues? Mr. Rattigan used Wayne Lonesome. Don't like both of them. Mr. Rattigan is used. But may go shut them out on that until it come out. When we see it, it is going to play out. Trust me. It is going to play out. But one thing I can promise you, Mr. Rattigan, as long as I'm out here, you're not going to get away with fooling the people. Be honest. If you're a leader, be honest. If you hope to lead, Mr. Rattigan, be honest. Andrew, I lead the people them in a darkness, and you come and do the same thing, and you want people like me to shut up. You describe me as a barking dog, Mr. Rattigan. Yes, I'm a barking dog, but the entire village, Mr. Rattigan, that there's a mole here. There's a traitor here. That is why I have to keep a bark, Mr. Rattigan. Moles and scammers and traitors are all out here leeching on the docility of the people. I have to bark, Mr. Rattigan. That's how dog alert the village that something is off, Mr. Rattigan. That's how a dog alert the village that something is off. For those who think it's just a wild bark, Mr. Fair enough. But me think you don't deserve the truth. Me know you don't like certain things, but me think you deserve the truth. And trust me, Mr. Rattigan is pulling a big wool over on the eye. And one who support Mr. Rattigan, one who tear me down the whole weekend, ask Mr. Rattigan the questions. Just ask Mr. Rattigan the questions. Ask Jeffrey and Mr. Rattigan the question. The corruption lies of the leadership of Rattigan and Jeffrey Tavares. The mix up on the news carrying. Mr. Rattigan, how fearless leader getting at this, Mr. Rattigan. Remember who Mr. Rattigan is. He's a trained news carrier. He's a trained infiltrator. Mr. Rattigan is a trained backstabber. Jamaica, what are you hoping for? Where are you hoping to go with this? Look where Andrew lead, and take up a same thin-skinned dictator like Andrew, a crook, a scammer. At that, I take up for leadership. Mr. Rattigan go sue me because you know you're in a big problem with one Jamaica Legal Defense Fund, Mr. Rattigan. You know you're not accountable, Mr. Rattigan. I have to bark, sir. Sir, there are scammers in the village. There are backstabbers in the village, Mr. Rattigan. There are moles in the village. This barking dog is barking to alert the entire village. Be careful. So no matter what brainwashing on come out here, pan with the people then, I'm a decoder, Mr. Rattigan. I am a decoder. Which one are no Peter Bunting appear? You, Jeffrey, or because we know we loan some in them pocket long time. You, Jeffrey. Is it you, Jeffrey, or President? Who is in Peter Bunting? Because sometimes when I don't listen carefully, It was said, and we loaned some show the other night, which night? The night when, I think last Monday night, when Rattigan come to everybody and him team under the bus. We loan some wife say, the labor right them gone now. No, we are go stronger than ever. Mr. Rattigan destroyed the group and friendship and party line. Mr. Rattigan cannot say no to Wayne Loan. Just monitor them when Wayne Lonesome is on Rattigan's platform. Rattigan is absolutely silent and is shut down. Rattigan cannot say no to Wayne Lonesome. Rattigan is in Wayne Lonesome to get closer favor with the PNP, and thereby they took the group, destroyed it, took the financial arm of it, and they veered off into a PNP organization rather than a Jamaica first organization. Mr. Rattigan, that was traitorous and crooked. You didn't have to use Wayne Lonesome to try to destroy your co-workers and your friends' credibility, Mr. Rattigan. You left 2 months ago because your friend Lion opposed, listen to her, opposed to how deeply you're involved in Wayne Lonesome. And when him tell you, say, him think you did know better. Your feather, Mr. Rattigan, was ruffled. How are you, Mr. Rattigan, a fearless leader? All of what you came out and uttered on the issue on Saturday makes absolutely no sense, Mr. Rattigan. And your feet will be held to the fire until proper accountability. Jeffrey Tavares, keep your business from Rattigan. Everybody know the little help you get from Rattigan, my friend. Me just warn you. But Mr. Rattigan, the money them where you not account for properly, Mr. Right to Mr. Rattigan. Because one of the things Mr. Rattigan do, which was exposed yesterday, Mr. Rattigan is trying to kick Herb off One Jamaica Legal Defense Fund Board because when you heard when Rattigan said one night, that's his baby. That's his baby. It's no longer an argument. It's Rattigan's personal baby. So you're going to have to be accountable to the people. You can't check them about and then come out and come tell them, this is my personal baby. While I'm out here, Wilford, you're not going to scam or trick the people and get away with it. You're free to be a traitor. It's what you're trained to do. Natural nature, Mr. Rattigan. What you will not do, though, is get away with it in front of is like mine. And Jeffrey Tavares, write us an essay. The topic of discussion class is Fearless Leader. Produce an essay in 3 hours, Mr. Tavares. Produce an essay. Mr. Rattigan came out with papers and pamphlets and script really of nothing on it. It's Mr. Rattigan to write a week to put the script together. And Mr. Rattigan came out Saturday. The paper was empty. And the fearless leader mind was empty. That's why them come out here with the hope of lawyers and the hope of teachers who don't understand how game play. And then he went into Bob Marley and he went into that smooth, soft voice, the rebel. Rattigan, the people them want to know about their money. The people them will donate to the organization, Mr. Rattigan. need to know about their money. Some people want their money back. If you paid through PayPal, but then you might kick off Herb, because Herb is the one who control the website and have the knowledge of what come to this social media payment. But the money them where I go to Mr. Rattigan isn't been documented. It doesn't want to be documented. I mean, I know how Mr. Rattigan are going to provide accountability when him don't want to follow the proper documentary procedure. The fearless leader thing. You know, as I told you from in a week, the Zelle money them, Rattigan, you need to be accountable for the Zelle money them. I told you all, I think on Friday, that I'm done with this thing, because I guarantee you when Mr. Rattigan come out on Saturday, after he came out and threw his colleague under the bus, I told you, Rattigan have made a mess of himself. And I don't have to say anything more to him, because he's going to make a mess of everything, because he's going to tell me. The reason why I'm responding is the leader Galangin, Jeffrey Tavares, come out with. Jeffrey Tavares, we want full disclosure of the monies you've collected and who have those money, Jeffrey. Did it go to the One Jamaica Legal Defense Foundation, or was it by Jeffrey? People need to know. People need to know. Everything was going well, Mr. Rattigan, until you sat back and allow you to throw this up in fire. At once you come out and you try to make peace in this situation, you're always throwing flames, always carrying news, Mr. Rattigan. That's not a leadership quality, sir. Carrying news, Mr. Rattigan. No leadership going in that. For the sake of your integrity, though, if you can, let me say this to you, Mr. Rattigan. Of course, you have the cult out there, the cult followers, the unthinkers out there, who are going to lap up everything that you say, Mr. Rattigan. But the well-thinking people, Mr. Rattigan, know that you're fibbing yourself about and telling lies. And both you and Jeffrey are going to held accountable. Remember, it's an organization registered in America, Mr. Rattigan. You're a liar. And you want to kick off Herb off of the board for your corrupt practices, Mr. Rattigan, because you don't want to provide full accountability, Mr. Rattigan. Geared up for start refunding, Mr. Rattigan. That me I tell you about here. Gear up yourself for a refunding campaign. Because the people are going to want back, Mr. Rattigan. If you cannot come out here and give an account for the money, one way you pay Prezi for, one way Jeffrey get paid for, the money them, the sponsorship money them, any money where Jeffrey get to sponsor him for donation, how was those money used, Jeffrey Tavares? Did you even declare it to Rattigan or to the group, Jeffrey Tavares? Look at the fearless leader argument push me. Come here, go leave, you know. Because you know do good at destroying on yourself, whatever. You know think you know swirl around the few cults in public. The sensible people realize, Mr. Rattigan, that you're not saying anything. There's a whole lot of truth came out over the weekend, yesterday, Mr. Rattigan, that you need to respond to. Leader, Mr. Rattigan, cannot stay silent when it's about to sink or the ship is in thorny weather on sea, Mr. Rattigan. A leader cannot stay silent. So Mr. Rattigan must come out and tell the public, be honest with the public, or step aside. Because the minute you push yourself in a leadership, Mr. Rattigan, it mash up. It fall apart. It look like there's a scamming intention, kind of mash up everything and hold on upon the money. Why? And you think you don't have a duty to explain to the people who you come out here and ask them to donate to the One Jamaica Legal Defense Fund? Do better than that, sir. Do better than that. So rather than you come out here and try to go on like this is a Rattigan corporation. No, you registered it as an organization and be held to the legal fire. Wilfred Rattigan, you should know. Only people will go to school a fool, Mr. Rattigan, but you should know that a 501 or whatever organization registered in the United States, whatever the number is called, you will be held accountable. So don't go on out here like you know who on a body explanation, Mr. Rattigan. Save your skin by stepping aside. That's the best thing you can do, because you're going to be in problems. You are going to be in problem, Mr. Rattigan. You and Jeffrey. And Jeffrey going to have to provide full disclosure on finances. You can tell everything else, Mr. Rattigan. But you and Jeffrey Tavares, you will be providing full disclosure when it comes to finances. Are you sure you're not stepping in fire the way you're trying to remove Herb from the One Jamaica Legal Defense Board, Mr. Rattigan? Huh? A long time this Rattigan planned this carefully, you know. You know, so the same news carrier we carry the news to Wayne Lonesome about Brenda. You know, she say that the news carrier secretly depend the board long time and keep it quiet. Rattigan have him planned long time. That's why Rattigan arm twist the group, even when him left, because of the dispute between him and him friend over the Wayne Lonesome issue, with him carry back out of the group or tell Wayne Lonesome. Mr. Rattigan, you're a danger, sir. Mr. Rattigan, you are a danger, sir. You're a danger. But you see, one day the people will recognize what I've been talking about since the week of this issue. People will recognize one day. Slowly but surely, Mr. Rattigan, the makeup is coming on. The makeup, Mr. Rattigan, is coming off your face. Because you tried very well Saturday evening to fool people. In fact, the cults were fooled by you. But let Rattigan, you are in problem. You know you remove Herb, it's gonna loads of legal debacle, Mr. Rattigan. Prepare yourself. You start it. You start it, Mr. Rattigan. So don't expect, say, you're going to behave like that and people is going to stand aside and watch a mole this. I wonder if you're the behind the destruction of partner. I look like everything you touch goes out. But never mind that. I think that's enough of Mr. this morning. They have a lot to answer. Legal woes, Jeffrey, legal woes. You think it will be beneficial to your situation? Fearless leader, long-tongue leader, walkie-talkie, catch it, tell it. Coward leader, thin-skin leader, walkie-talkie, catch it, tell it. You can't continue like that, Mr. Rattigan. We know you're a trained news carrier, but good God, how long now you left out of FBI? You could deinstitutionalize yourself and your mindset, Mr. Rattigan. But everywhere you go so, with the news carrying, walkie-talkie, catch it, tell it, long-tongue leader, fearless leader. Fearless leader, long-tongue leader, walkie-talkie, catch it, tell it. Come on, sir. You're a big man. You're growing young men. I saw you're going to teach the younger generation to lie, sir. Look how Prezi sit down Saturday evening and a smirk and a grin at Uno while them are telling a lie. Uno dangerous, you know. Prezi, how much Prezi have you, how much expenses have you claimed from the One Jamaica Legal Defense Fund? Do you have any receipt that Carlos claimed back any money from the One Jamaica Legal Defense Fund? Jeffrey, your audience know you, you know. Your audience knows you. Long-tongue leader, fearless leader, walk it. Dear King John Hill, dear leader, walk it. Mix up leader, care news leader, fearless leader, walkie-talkie. Mr. Rattigan, I'm surprised of you. You know why it cannot be easy, jerk world? Mr. Rattigan is a liar. Mr. Rattigan is not able to sit down and have that true, honest conversation. You see, just like I'm everything from Mr. Rattigan is swirling. You see, if you aim, the one when you're president, the one where you're seeing at the glass, a grin like a treasure cat Saturday evening, pan Rattigan. The one where you see generally hold the mic and pray upon demonstration. The one with generally from New York, not from New York, from Washington, he start introduce Rattigan as the fearless leader. Because a long time the plot is going to unseat Dr. Francis. But Rattigan used Wayne Lonesome to achieve that. Walkie-talkie. Catch it, tell it. Rattigan told you all he will be singing the hymn from a different church. Rattigan is not willing to work with the group. Wayne Lonesome, Rattigan cannot turn down Wayne Lonesome. Wayne Lonesome cannot work with the group. He doesn't want to. He's a loner. He doesn't understand the organizational structure and things like that. So the setting of the group is not really fit for Wayne Lonesome. That's just the truth. It's not putting down Wayne Lonesome. The group is just not fitting for Wayne Lonesome based on his loneliness. Him don't want to be involved. So it's not the person that should really get involved in the whole diaspora galanging, because him no want interact, communicate with nobody, him no want hold to nothing. Rattigan choose to stand by him rather than the group. So Rattigan make his decision. What Rattigan needs to do is to go away and leave the people them alone to get on with them thing, rather than try to stifle the group to take over leadership. Because are you and Rattigan, are you and Jeffrey alone estranged from the group? Nobody else now follow. Nobody else now follow. It's the truth. So Rattigan on and doing things in peace, rather than how him use Wayne Lonesome to really throw everything out in public. You know? And Rattigan must be held accountable for that. Rattigan can't sit down in the back and make Wayne Lonesome alone get the blame. Rattigan is a fearless leader, long-tongue leader, walkie-talkie, catch-it-tell-it, can-use leader, scammer leader. Huh? Good morning, Randolph Riley. How are you, Mr. Riley? Mr. Riley like to ask what happened to the people that money where him collect. Mr. Riley want to ask Jeffrey Tavares about the money Jeffrey Tavares collected to go to Canada, where Jeffrey Tavares was saying can't go. Mr. Riley? Mr. Riley? Ask Mr. Rattigan why he's lying, Mr. Riley. Kind of look then, Mr. Rattigan, you know. Mr. Spineless Figan. Mr. Spineless Figan. Mr. Thin Skinny Gun. Mr. Thin Skin. Yeah. Wayne Lonesome, Bunsan arrogant, but Wayne Lonesome. Wayne Lonesome will see Rattigan for who he is in time. The only thing that's holding Wayne Lonesome together right now is the PNP alliance. It's nothing else. Trust me. Trust me. But Wayne Lonesome alone shouldn't pick up, because Rattigan is the one who used Wayne Lonesome. In all of this outburst where you see Wayne Lonesome had, Rattigan is the one who carried the news. Rattigan leave the group and been carrying news to Wayne Lonesome. How Wayne Lonesome wife could have sit and thing there one night in the group. How Wayne Lonesome knows a Rattigan friend have problem with his involvement in the diaspora thing. Mr. Rattigan is carefully craft destroying the group, what Wilfred didn't realize and know it was going to backfire on him. I'm not going to stay out for more than 1 hour, even though my slide not come to, but I'm going to talk about some issue. I post a short video yesterday to do with the JPS issue. I would encourage you all to watch that video, because I do not have my broadcast slide, the current one, to hand this morning. But after a month and a week, JPS lamp poles, our power lines and light posts, as we is still causing havoc, death, danger, and near death to Jamaica people. Community, one lamp post, one light post fall down since the hurricane, about 5 weeks now. Public service have not looked into my community of Parity. Lean up lamp posts, broke down light posts, still did it. We saw in Clarendon where a lamp post dropped down as well with live wire, and one bike man get caught into it, severely electrocuted. I think lose an arm and a hand. Kidneys are shutting down. And everybody just like them. JPS is committing health and safety crime across the country. Just by leaving lines down with live wire, that is a health and safety crime. That alone. Never mind, people are being injured by these situations. And nobody not seem to care, nothing much seem to be happening. Nobody seem to care, nothing is happening. Mark Golden still a spread Olympic. Thank God Olympic done. Thank God Mark Golden, Olympic done. So you will get back to opposition, your opposition job. Listen here, Shana. A Wayne Lowe and some forget one now about being too close to Ratty. The bigger problem here is Rattigan. If Rattigan never threw him friend them under the bus, Wayne Lonesome wouldn't have this heavily involvement in the thing which took it to here. Wayne Lonesome now to be careful of Rattigan, because that's the next person he might go crush. Or him will keep Wayne Lonesome till PNP win, because Rattigan aim is to suck up to the PNP in order to achieve him commissioner of police job. Sell out Jamaica, sell out standing up for Jamaica for a profession. And we see where Czech, China Harbor Engineering, what's it rather they call them company. After them use substandard material, what the highway name, I hit a name the South Coast or something another. Breakaway and all sort, and then after that, I patch it up now. Remember, the Prime Minister run around and campaign on him, pretty road them. And the Prime Minister pretty road them, you just need to piss on them, and everything start to pull apart. So, nothing really not happening, but the bloody weekend, particularly in Clarendon. But let me ask a few questions first. Multi-million-dollar jugs, multi-billion-dollar jugs boss. Prominent businessman get assassinated. All the coincidence just always jump in my mouth, lap, hand, and head. So me don't know. Coincident, drugs boss, businessman murdered, police now tell we no name, and them something them. But the carnage in Clarendon, the carnage that took place in Clarendon over the weekend, 18 people, the images can't be shown. The images that we may get cannot be shown, because I wouldn't want to put that out for any relative seeing them. But even a boy, probably about 9, 10 or so on, was shot in the cherry tree. A cherry tree, the area name? In the cherry tree incident. Is that Mike Henry's constituency? Correct me, please. the shooting that happened, 20 people get shot, 9 dead. The youth who did the shooting just come out of prison. My God. Them did shoot him sister while he was in prison. Oh gosh. But my people, it is a sad. This sound just like Cocoa Peace or on a par with Cocoa Peace massacre. People, the images cannot be shown. There's another incident as well where one taxi driver got killed by a passenger who was sitting behind him with the gun. It was a bloody weekend across the country. For whatever reason, the Prime Minister keep ramming home the narrative that crime is down across the country. Because just when you look on Popeye, what do you get the name where post about the Whooper murders as well? But Popeye is one of them. There's a lot of murder that Popeye Newslink is reporting a lot of the time that we don't see in government quarters. But the Prime Minister have a vested interest going around the country, stand up in a hot sun, and him always beat out a door, you know. It looks like when the Prime Minister had crime report, I said from ever start about that sort on the highway. The Bush Party Prime Minister walk and take crime report. No building, no dead, them not on building. So the Prime Minister have to take them out a door under the glare of the hot sun for them to oh well, them are doing crime. I never understand. Prime Minister have a vested interest for sure way. Even though the Prime Minister doesn't have a crime policy, the Prime Minister have a vested interest for sure way that crime is going down. And you know, the Prime Minister have the nerve to be still talking about the effects of Zozo. Now this MP, the Prime Minister going like said Zozo had any effect on the crime. Zozo, the Prime Minister, is push crime from one era to the next. Now here is a Lord Jesus. And if they have no ambulance, because in a situation, yeah, the MP need to visit the scene and lay flowers. I wonder if they have any ambulance. For car, dead palm, wait for going a grave and coffin, Mike Henry, the MP. The dead palm bed MP, Mike Henry, which the massacre over the weekend took place in his constituency. Only in Jamaica, you would find a dead MP palm bed where they have a car, Mike chair and table, go give him. When it come to campaign time, an MP that cannot vote in your parliament, an MP that cannot debate in your parliament, an MP that cannot do any work in his constituency. Yes, that dead palm bed waiting to go in his coffin, MP, this morning is unable to go down to charity and console the people who have endured, the family who've endured the effects and trauma of the weekend massacre. No. Hey. But then again, him rich enough. Well, either the government or Miss Henry should be able to take a private ambulance and carry him there so he can go there and read, and can bring a Zimmer frame or a wheelchair in the ambulance so make sure Mike Henry get to do his political job. What about the MP that is in an oath? Good evening, Christoph Dan. Andrew, because Andrew, new Minister of Health. I just said, mad, she a mad out. Is there any truth to the argument that Favour is madding out? I wonder if a thief a mad Favour, or a pressure or stress of the inability to manage her portfolio. Mad she a mad out. Minister of madding out. Because it's only a mad out minister. Unwilling to negotiate and pay teachers a living wage, but is cascading around the world looking for teachers from Nigeria, Ghana, India, and the Philippines to come and teach with children, beat and teach the pressure bus pipe. And Favour winner to put on handcuff on you for the how much 100 billion millions that you have stolen. We have not. I wonder if Darrell Vaz, because Darrell Vaz, remember you said not a secret, you know. I want Vaz know where Mad Favour Williams. Remember Darrell Vaz said nothing is secret when they put out Mark Golden passport in a public. When Darrell Vaz put Favour Mark Golden in a public, him say no secret. So like, oh, not secret. We want to find out what make Favour a mad out. And to Mr. Golden left the sick old man. Make the old man recover. Babs is sick and short of breath. Mr. Golden, the poor old man, after getting drawn through the zinc fence, after lift up the young boy, them all time lap, a youngster shot the young boy, them in our lap, in our car. Mark Golden leave the old man. Go and find something to do, Mark Golden. Sit strong, young, 52-year-old boy like Andrew out there where you figure back to the sick, old, tired, shorter breath, oh man. You want to dance where Babsy go. Who could have got so much dance, Mr. Golden, and not tired? Leave the old man alone. Mr. Golden, and go find something. The old man tired and shorter breath. You think it easy to lift up a dead man head out of your lap, Mr. Golden? It's not easy. Babsy have a lot of things on her hand. Leave Babsy and go find something. The old man sick and breath. And you come out here, bad Mr. Golden. Go and go find something, do, sir. Thank you all very much. I wonder if I owe them a favor. Me no know. But then again, Miss Williams, if you're not competent, Miss Williams, then you cannot be nominated for the next election. But then again, they nominated dead on bed, waiting for a casket and a grave, Mike Henry. What would stop them from nominating a sick old woman, tired, short of breath?
Watch out.
Rattigan, yeah.
I gotta take the new identity where you give me, see? Chill out for a while. Then I come back as a bigger hero.
You and me make a deal, Ratty. Give me the gun.
Testify to police. No. I don't mind think that.
He's my brother, Ratty. Wow. You know, respect anymore.
For everything, there's a season. Time to love. Time to hate. Time for peace. Time for war. Time for kill.
Good evening, Mr. Rattigan. I hope you will do the right thing. I want to thank you all very much for being here this morning with us on the Global Television Group. Join this campaign. It is where truth resides. No matter how you see them as run around and say, I'm barking, I'm mix up, I'm shitty, and all that. Who is Global TV, who we did not get an interview with? Don't matter. You're going to always get over here undiluted and unfettered truth. Lump it or leave it. Good morning and good afternoon from the Global Television Group. One's going to enjoy the basking glory of today's weather. Thank you. Please like, share, subscribe, and make sure you get in the debate in the after comment. Thank you for watching.